This is our fucking city.
He just shook up the world.
I don't even know where you're sitting at.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's your boy Raul Infante here with Taking This Sports. Don't forget, we're not only the guys that watch these sports, but we analyze them. So today we're actually going to cover the Boston Red Sox against the Tampa Bay Rays in this last series. Listen, before we even get into that, I'm going to be honest with you guys. If you guys would have told me with 52 games remaining left in the season after what I saw last season of the Boston Red Sox, the championship team, that they would be 10.5 games out of the AL East and 3.5 games out of a wild card spot, I would have laughed at you. Reason being is because the Boston Red Sox offense was phenomenal, and you have 3 former Cy Young players on that team that seem to be ready to go at the beginning of the season. Yeah, the preseason was shaky, but a lot of teams have shaky preseasons. So listen, I'm going to give you a fun stat. The Red Sox are #1 in runs scored with 640 runs so far in the MLB. Second place is the New York Yankees with 619 runs. That's a 21-run differential. So I got to ask myself, and I got to ask you guys, where does the problem lie for the Boston Red Sox? And I'm going to explain that in this short video between the Boston Red Sox and the Tampa Bay Rays. So the key thing that I want you guys to listen to is game 1, it was a tight game between the Red Sox and the Rays. You could see the importance between both teams. It was a shootout, but at the end of the day, the Red Sox held the lead. Bullpen comes in and destroys the game. That's been the story of the season so far. And what ends up happening, I think, you know what? This could be a positive for the Red Sox because it might push Dave Dombrowski and management to actually go and get talent to help the Boston Red Sox bullpen. So that way, those losses, those close games could actually turn into W's. Because remember, I said there's 52 games left in the season. There was 55 before the Tampa Bay Rays series started, right? That's more than enough time for the Red Sox to at least make the wild card spot. But guess what? Dave Dombrowski didn't end up getting any help for the Boston Red Sox, so they have to stick with what they have. They end up losing game 1. Due to that, now game 2, I thought was the most fire that I've seen so far out of Rick Porcello. But it wasn't against the Rays because he allowed 5 runs right away in the first inning. It was actually against the 2 monitors in the Red Sox bullpen, and that's unfortunate to say about Rick Porcello, which is actually in last place in ERA in the starting pitching of the Boston Red Sox. So game 3 is actually the one that hurt me the most. I know by the end of game 2, that the Rays had won the series by then, but man, do not let this be a sweep, right? They hadn't swept the Boston Red Sox in Fenway since 2010. And guess what? It ended up happening last night. So we have Andrew Cashner on the bullpen. I'm sorry, as the starting pitcher for the Boston Red Sox. Maybe he's going to be a guy that can help out the starting lineup. He has 10 wins so far. Came via trade by the Baltimore Orioles. So you never know. He pitched solid against the New York Yankees. So I was really hoping that he would come out and do well. You know what? The Tampa Bay Rays scored a run in the first inning, but hey, no, it doesn't matter. Remember, the Red Sox have the highest run output in baseball, so I'm not worried about 1 run. So what happens? Exactly how I said it. Mookie Betts goes and scores a single, and then you have Xander Bogaerts that hits a 2-run home run, and right there, the Red Sox have the momentum with a 2-1 lead. However, what happens with momentum? If the pitcher does not keep that, it slowly goes into everybody else. Right in the second inning, Cashner had to have a solid inning to keep the momentum on the Red Sox side. What does he do? He walks the first batter. No big deal. There's a runner on first, right? But his main pitch is the changeup, and the location of the changeup was bad for him last night. He ends up throwing a high changeup, which a lot of times in the MLB, if you throw anything that's off speed, you're going to get a lot of damage. Luckily, it was just a single, so you have batters on first and second. Then the third batter. He's the 8th batter in the lineup. He's batting a sub-200 average. And what does he do? He also walks him because he can't seem to find the command of the changeup. Whether it's low or he was yanking it low and outside to a right-handed hitter. So you have bases loaded. Can matters get any worse for the Red Sox? For Andrew Cashner to be specific. Yes, because he ends up walking another batter. The 9th hitter in the lineup ends up gaining an RBI due to not hitting the ball, but just being patient and disciplined at the plate. So he takes first, and there you go. Just like that, you have a tie game, 2-2. You don't think matters could get worse from there, right? No, it does. There's a miscommunication by Andrew Cashner, and Sandy Leon, the catcher, he ends up throwing a breaking ball, but not a changeup. He ends up throwing a curveball that's low and outside. Looks like Sandy Leon is not ready for that. Sandy Leon is a great catcher. There's a reason why he's a catcher in the Red Sox still, or even in the majors. He got bumped down to AAA because his bats was terrible. The Red Sox ranked dead last in offensive production by their catchers last year. Thank God that their other catcher right now is actually producing. But Sandy Leon was a catcher in this game. Why? Because of his glove. And even he had a difficulty catching that ball. So miscommunication happens, and boom, there you go. 3-2 lead just like that with only one hit in the inning. He ends up walking 3 batters and gives the lead 3-2 to Tampa Bay. Hey, it's only 1 run, right? But then you have Tampa Bay that with good hitting ends up getting a hit to center field that I thought it was gone when I saw it. The way that I saw Andrew Benintendi turn around, but no, it ends up being a double at the top of the wall in center field. And you know that's a long way away in Boston. You know, Fenway Park is not a small park. Yeah, it's deceptive in left field with the 279, but you have the Green Monster. Then center field is a long way away. Then you have the 420 in right field is longer than most fields in the MLB. So what ends up happening is, honestly, I thought that they were going to be able to score 2 runs. Choi, being the 9th hitter in that lineup that ended up being walked, was on second base after the pass ball. Instead of him taking a short lead to see where the ball was going to be, he actually thought Benintendi was going to catch the ball. So he's on second base trying to tag up. So by the time the ball hits the wall, he's trying to round third. He's on his way from home. They score a run, but then they get Choi out on home, which was the break that the Red Sox needed because it keeps the score close at 4-2. They end up getting out of the inning, but the damage is done. They score the 3 runs in that inning, and now they're up 4-2. Maybe the Red Sox could do something in the second inning. They end up not doing anything. 1, 2, 3 inning for the Boston Red Sox. Then again, in the third inning, we needed Andrew Cashner to have a fast inning. He ends up getting that fast inning that he needs, gets a double play from Xander Bogaerts that looks beautiful, right? Only 1 man on base. He gets the job done, and it's time for the Boston Red Sox to do something. Oh, no, they don't. So it looks like the starting pitcher for the Tampa Bay Rays is actually getting momentum. The reason why he's gaining momentum is because he ends up getting the second inning, 1, 2, 3. He ends up getting the third inning, 1, 2, 3, right? So he gets 6 outs in a row. There, I was a little concerned, but you know what? There's a long game. There's 6 innings left, and you know what? After this short break, we're actually going to cover the rest of the game of the Boston Red Sox versus the Tampa Bay Rays. Hey guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to hit that bell button for more notifications. So with that being said, we're going to continue on the Red Sox versus Tampa Bay Game 3. Listen, I have to correct myself, and I apologize for it. I said that in the third inning was when Xander Bogaerts actually turned the double play. I stand corrected. It was actually in the 4th inning. The third inning was relatively smooth for Cashner, and then in the 4th inning was actually when Xander Bogaerts gets the double play. So 2 solid innings by Andrew. So in the 4th inning, the Red Sox start off, and listen, it looks like a promising inning because you have Andrew Benintendi that starts off with a leadoff double off close to the left field foul line off the Green Monster, right? He's on second base. Things are looking good. Then you have Sam Travis that has a 4-game hitting streak. He gets a hit to right field. It's looking promising. So now he has a 5-game hitting streak on the line, right? Third and first. It looks promising. 0 outs. But guess what? The Boston Red Sox do not capitalize, just like they've done the entire game. They leave 2 men in scoring position on base, and they end up not being able to score a run. So it's still 4-2 at this point. 5th inning comes around, and listen, Cashner, like I said, is settling in. Now he has another solid inning. So you have the 3rd, 4th, and 5th inning that Cashner does whatever he has to do to give the Boston Red Sox an opportunity, their offense, to come back. So you have to think, by the 5th inning, the Red Sox hitters, this is when I thought that the Red Sox would take advantage and get damage because they were actually seeing the ball well. They weren't striking out that much and were making contact. And you have Mookie Betts as your leadoff hitter actually leading off in the 5th inning. And it's, like I said, it's the 3rd time around. So I thought that the Boston Red Sox could capitalize and actually score some runs to close the 4-2 advantage that Tampa Bay had. However, you know, the Red Sox were only able to score 1 run, and it was off of another Xander Bogaerts home run. And let me tell you, it wasn't the easiest home run. The ball was inside and high, jamming him, but he gets the bat in front of it and is able to hit his second home run of the night over the Green Monster. I apologize. How can I say that? So listen, anyways, moving on. There you go. You have a 4-3 lead. And going into the 6th inning, Cashner might be in his last inning. Reason being is because of the pitch count. He gets a quick first out, but then you have a single and then a double over the head of Mookie Betts, and everything changes after that. You know, Andrew Cashner ends up having an opportunity with a man on second and a man on third to you know, get a double play out of this, because he ends up walking a batter. But what ends up happening, the same guy that created the double play available for Xander Bogaerts in the 4th inning actually ended up hitting it straight to Xander Bogaerts, but it wasn't enough. He didn't make enough contact where they could get the double play. So therefore, you end up having Tampa Bay scoring another run, 5-3. However, there's 2 outs. With 2 outs, hey, the game is still in arm's reach with only 2 runs. But that's the night of Andrew Cashner, and then you have the reliever coming in. Man, this was where the game really got out of hand. You had the reliever come in, and he actually walks a batter, but before he walks a batter, he throws a wild pitch. And this wasn't a miscommunication between him and Sandy Leon. He just whipped a fastball or a slider, one of those pitches where Sandy Leon wasn't able to get to it, so it ends up being 6-3. Listen, this is where, like I said, the game ended up being extremely difficult because then Pham comes up to bat, and you know what? He has 2 strikes on him, and Pham does what he has to do and just make contact. Just make contact when you have 2 strikes. Don't try to kill the ball. It ends up being a double off the right field line and ends up being 7-3. Is the game out of hand? Maybe, but the Red Sox get out of that inning. Then you have Mookie Betts in the 7th inning that actually hits a solo home run, but after that, in the 8th inning and the 9th inning, you had the Tampa Bay Rays that scored 2 solo home runs for a total of a 9-3 final score. Listen, this was the most heartbreaking thing. Actually, I'm sorry, 9-4 with the Mookie Betts home run. And this was a heartbreaker because, like I said, in the beginning of the series, the Boston Red Sox were only a half game away from the Tampa Bay Rays. Forget about Cleveland. Cleveland is going to keep that 1 spot. But if the Red Sox want to make it to the playoffs, they had to win the series against Tampa Bay. They end up not winning it, but I'm going to stay strong with the Boston Red Sox. Reason being is, like I said, there's 52 games away. I think the key for the Red Sox to make the playoffs this year is going to be production out of the starting pitching. Chris Sale, David Price, Rick Porcello, they need to step up their game. Cashner has been pitching well. You know, yesterday was, it was a bad game. All pitchers have bad games. But the only pitcher right now that is consistent is actually Rodriguez. But those 3 pitchers combined need to step up their game if the Red Sox are going to have an opportunity. Because clearly the bats are there. If they have a +19 differential and runs produced against any other team in the MLB. So with that being said, don't forget, guys, we're not only the guys that watch these sports, but we analyze them. Here with your boy, Raul Infante.